Attachment styles shape how people speak when closeness feels safe or unsafe. Think of one partner asks for reassurance while the other becomes quiet. The process works because the words may be about dinner plans, but the nervous system is reading connection. Over time, communication changes when attachment fear is activated. Anxious attachment often seeks contact quickly. A simple case is this. A delayed reply can feel like rejection. The important driver is that the person may send extra messages, ask repeated questions, or push for clarity. That is why the goal is usually reassurance, not control for its own sake. Avoidant attachment often creates distance. You might see it when a serious conversation may feel like pressure or loss of independence. What matters underneath is that the person may shorten replies, change the subject, or focus on logic. If it is ignored, space becomes a way to regulate emotion. Secure attachment communicates needs more directly. One ordinary version is someone can say they felt hurt without assuming the relationship is ending. The mechanism is that safety allows honesty without panic. The practical effect is the conversation can focus on repair instead of defense. Conflict exposes attachment patterns. Consider an anxious partner may pursue while an avoidant partner withdraws. The hidden part is that each reaction makes sense internally but frightens the other person. The outcome is often that the cycle becomes stronger when both read the other as uncaring. Tone can matter as much as words. The pattern shows up when a simple question asked with panic may sound like accusation. The moving force is that attachment activation changes volume, speed, and facial expression. The risk is that the message received may differ from the message intended. Texting magnifies insecurity. In a daily situation, no facial expression or voice tone leaves room for interpretation. The link is that a short reply can be read as anger, boredom, or rejection. Once that link matters, attachment style fills the silence with meaning. Avoidant communication may sound calm while hiding overwhelm. The clearest example is a partner says they are fine but emotionally shuts down. The explanation starts with the outside looks controlled, the inside may feel flooded. The consequence is misreading calm as indifference can deepen the conflict. Anxious communication may sound intense while hiding fear. For example, a partner asks the same question 3 times because uncertainty feels unbearable. The reason is that the outside looks demanding, the inside may feel unsafe. That can mean misreading fear as drama can block compassion. Disorganized patterns can switch quickly. In real life, someone may ask for closeness and then reject it when it arrives. The pressure comes from this. Past unpredictability can make intimacy feel both desired and dangerous. The result can be communication becomes confusing because the internal alarm changes direction. Attachment affects listening. Think of a person expecting abandonment may hear criticism inside neutral feedback. The process works because a person expecting control may hear pressure inside a request. Over time, the past shapes what the present seems to mean. Repair requires naming the cycle. A simple case is this. Saying we are doing the pursue and withdraw pattern again can lower blame. The important driver is that the problem becomes the pattern, not one person's character. That is why couples communicate better when they fight the cycle together. Reassurance works best when it is specific. You might see it when I care about you and I need 1 hour to cool down is clearer than I need space. What matters underneath is that specific language reduces guessing. If it is ignored, space becomes less threatening when connection is still named. Boundaries and avoidance are different. One ordinary version is a boundary explains what someone can do respectfully, while avoidance disappears to escape discomfort. The mechanism is that healthy distance includes communication. The practical effect is silence without context often increases insecurity. Anxious partners can practice pausing before protest behavior. Consider waiting 10 minutes before sending another message can reduce escalation. The hidden part is that the pause does not deny the need for connection. The outcome is often that it gives the message a better chance of being heard. Avoidant partners can practice staying present in small doses. The pattern shows up when someone answers one emotional question instead of leaving the room, which slowly builds tolerance. The moving force is that presence does not mean surrendering independence. The risk is that it shows the relationship can handle discomfort. Secure communication can be learned. In a daily situation, people can build scripts, timing agreements, repair habits, and emotional vocabulary. The link is that attachment patterns are strong but not fixed. Once that link matters, consistent experiences teach the nervous system new expectations. The healthiest conversations include need and responsibility. The clearest example is I felt scared when plans changed, and I am working on not assuming the worst. The explanation starts with this kind of message reveals emotion without attacking. The consequence is it invites closeness without demanding mind reading. Attachment style affects communication most when something important is at stake. For example, plans, commitment, conflict, sex, money, and distance can trigger old fears. The reason is that knowing the trigger helps partners slow the reaction before it becomes damage. That can mean the topic is understood through attachment style affects communication most when something important is at stake in practical terms. Attachment styles and communication becomes clearer when it is tested in ordinary life. Take anxious partner reading a short reply as rejection. The point is visible in an anxious partner reading a short reply as rejection. The choice changes because attachment styles and communication changes the pressure around the decision. What matters is the real consequence for the people involved, not just the clean definition of attachment styles and communication. When the example is concrete, attachment styles and communication stops sounding abstract and starts looking like something people deal with in real conversations, bills, deadlines, and relationships. Another useful angle is avoidant partner going quiet during conflict. An avoidant partner going quiet during conflict shows how one background condition can change the outcome before anyone calls it a big event. For attachment styles and communication, the hidden force is the meaning people attach to tone, silence, timing, and distance. Once that meaning is named, a short reply no longer has to become proof of rejection. Attachment styles show up most clearly in ordinary conversations, especially when one person seeks closeness and the other feels pressure. A weak reading blames one partner's character and misses the cycle between pursuit and withdrawal. In the case of secure partner asking directly, the final result may look simple from the outside, but the pressure was already building before anyone noticed it. Better judgment starts by naming the pattern before the conversation turns into defense. A practical example is couple naming the pursue-withdraw cycle. The practical point is not to memorize a slogan about attachment styles and communication. The practical point is to respond to the fear underneath the message, not only the words on the surface. That contrast explains why the same silence can feel peaceful to one partner and threatening to another. Most confusion around attachment styles and communication comes from missing that hidden exchange and focusing only on the surface event. Attachment styles shape what people hear between the words. Communication improves when partners name the cycle instead of blaming character. A final example, repair conversation after misunderstanding, shows why this matters before the outcome becomes expensive, stressful, or emotionally charged. The strongest takeaway is to name the attachment cycle before the words become weapons. The practical point is to respond to the fear underneath the message, not only the words on the surface. Once those parts are visible, attachment styles and communication becomes less mysterious and much easier to handle in daily life.